Hi everybody, welcome to Live with Chaudhrey. I'm at ASMS I'm trying to remember which city I'm in this week, Minneapolis. I'm delighted to be joined by Jose Castro-Perez, who is the Director for Market Development at SCIEX. And we have just finished the SCIEX press conference here at ASMS, and I thought I'd catch up with Jose to give you viewers a quick overview of what was discussed this morning. So Jose, first of all, it's lovely to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are yourself?
I'm very well. It's lovely to meet you in person at last. So, and congratulations for Real Madrid winning the Champions League.
Thank you.
As well. Now, my first question for you is that obviously we're here at ASMS. What products did you actually announce today at ASMS?
Yeah, great question, and great to see you again. So we announced two key products for us. The first one is Zeno SWATH DIA on our Zeno TOF 7600 system, and the other one that basically goes side by side with the first announcement is the release of Psyx Os 3.0.
Brilliant. Well, let's talk about the Zeno TOF Zeno SWATH DIA first of all. Obviously, it's a brand new product. Can you give viewers a quick overview of the instrument and also what your thinking was behind launching it in the first place? Yeah,
absolutely. So basically, we work very closely with our customers. We listen to their needs in terms of, obtaining a much higher degree of coverage, whether we're talking about proteomics or metabolomics, or even in the case of drug metabolism, right? So you were doing meta-ID related work. So we wanted to improve the throughput, and we wanted to improve the coverage of the system. So let me explain a little bit more about that. So we enabled the Zeno trap on the Zeno TOF 7600 system to acquire data using our SWATH approach, but with the Zeno trap enabled. Sure. What that allows us to do is to obtain much deeper coverage of the sample. As I said, independent of the analyte. Yep. So in the case of proteomics workflows, it allows us to detect twice the number of proteins that we did before, and also quantify more than 2 times of what we did before in a much shorter time frame. So we're going from run times that typically they were in the 90-minute or 120-minute run times down to 20-minute or even 10-minute run times as well. So that's a huge step towards high throughput proteomics with very deep coverage.
That's really interesting. Now, compared to what else is in the marketplace at the moment, how unique is it? What are the key differences between that and other products currently out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say there are 3 major aspects to that, right? The first one is, if you look at our legacy around SWATH DIA technology, we've been iterating that product over the years. And one of the things that we've done over the years is to add additional selectivity, right? So what I mean by that is, we incorporated variable window SWATH that allows the user to have, multiple windows across the entire mass range to add even more selectivity to the DIA-based approach. Yep. But now, in addition to that, we've improved the throughput so that, we have, very high acquisition rates up to 133 Hertz, which will allow us to have very fast chromatography as well. So that's why we've gone from the typical 120-minute run times down to 10-minute runtime. In fact, one of the manuscripts published by the Marcus Rosa's group, there's data there demonstrating 5-minute runtimes for plasma samples, right? And obtaining very high number of proteins quantified as well. And then in addition to that, enabling the Zeno trap in this acquisition mode will allow us to obtain a much higher sensitivity in MSMS mode, which is extremely important to be able to give us a high degree of accuracy and precision and quantitation, right? So this is the other area that we've observed by doing these large scale studies, that the actual accuracy of the quantitation improves as well once your iron statistics increase by 10x.
Brilliant. And in layman's terms, I mean, obviously you talked about the time being reduced and obviously the speed and so on. But what are the actual benefits for researchers with all these additional benefits with the product?
Yeah, so additional benefits is, faster answers per unit time or per unit sample, so you can get your answer a lot faster. Secondly, depending on the question that you have, whether you have a question around, if you have a drug which is pretty potent and you're trying to do med-ID and you only need to dose a very low amount concentration of the drug itself, whether you're in vitro or in vivo, the additional sensitivity on the system and the speed will allow you to get to your answer a lot faster with less sample as well, right? Or in the case of if you're doing proteomic discovery, you have a limited amount of sample that you have, right? So you only get like one shot at it. So this will allow you to maximize the amount of information that you get from that sample by having a system which is 10x more sensitive than the previous SWATH acquisition mode.
Well, and also it was interesting actually listening to one of the professors in the videos you were showing, saying that there is also a knock-on effect, isn't it, in terms of the savings people do in terms of the use of the reagents and various other things. So the sample prep is actually saved as well in terms of time and resources. So there is a lot of additional benefit, not just what you see when you just use it.
Exactly, and if you look at, for instance, in the case of where you have very precious samples, in preclinical models, where you want to have a very small amount of sample, but do a lot of experiments with it. So that means that if you're using a tenth of what you used before, it will allow you to further characterize that sample, even do additional experiments to try and understand the question behind that you're trying to answer.
Yeah, definitely. Now, looking ahead though, for Zeno DIA, what are key markets that you're focusing on, first of all, with that, and key workflows, if you like? And looking ahead, where else do you think it could be used going forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the key markets where we believe that this is going to be very impactful is in the area of, one, biomarker discovery. And biomarker discovery goes across, life science research, pharma discovery, target ID, target validation, and beyond that, and also in biopharma as well, in that early discovery space. The other area where we believe that this technology is going to be very impactful is in the area of metabolite identification, for drug metabolism, for instance, right? Because not only we can combine the sensitivity of the Zeno SWATH DIA to allow us to detect, important putative metabolites or xenobiotics, but also when you combine EAD fragmentation, electron-activated dissociation with it, as a separate experiment, you can really fully characterize that putative metabolite, because you have this additional fragmentation tool that you can leverage to get to difficult metabolites, like, for instance, glucuronidations, for example, that they are more amenable to basically losing that sugar moiety, which you preserve that under EAD conditions. So it will give you that additional step on the characterization side and the detection side on the Zeno SWATH DIA.
Right. And looking ahead, what do you see the future for in terms of other markets that you might be able to use?
So I would say the other future of it, as I see it, is around the applied markets. Certainly around food and environmental applications. When you're looking at running a semi-targeted approach, and you're looking at more of the discovery stage, like I think we've heard these words around exposomics and foodomics as well, and so forth. And again, equally applicable for a variety of molecules, not just large molecules, but also for small molecules as well.
Brilliant. And obviously, let's talk about the software that you talk about today. So, tell me more about the new software that you announced today.
Yeah, so today, we announced Psyx Os 3.0. Obviously, Zeno SWATH DIA is part of that package, and basically, the way that it works is that we continue to unlock the potential of the Xenotop 7600 system by enabling this new acquisition mode, which we believe is going to really improve workflows that we currently have.
Right, and so for those people who've already got the 7600, obviously it's been out for a year, and I remember doing an interview talking about that. First of all, what's been the take-up of it? Because obviously it's been out for a year, so what has been the feedback to the product, and what's been the take-up? Yeah,
that's a great question. So the feedback has been extremely positive. As I said, we look at the gaps that were in the technology, certainly around maximizing the detection efficiency of the ions before they get into the tough region. So this is why we enable the Zeno trap, right? So we solve, a problem that that we saw that's been around for quite a long time, and also we very much focus on improving the dynamic range of the system as well. So what that means is, as you have a greater degree of sensitivity, you also have to work in the dynamic range of the instrument. So we address that, and also we added the EAD fragmentation step as well, and that combination of all these developments has been extremely helpful for our customers in primarily, I would say, pharma, biopharma, life science research, but now we're seeing that this technology is moving more into the applied markets as well, right? So I think that the uptake has been extremely positive. We're getting some excellent feedback. We had some great presentations at the users meeting from our customers, really showing us, how they've been using the system for the last year. And we're very happy to see the progress that they're making to achieve their goals and answer critical questions that they couldn't be answered before.
Brilliant. And with regards to the software, because the 7600 has been out for a year, is there an automatic software update, or do they have to request it? How does that work?
Yeah, so basically the way that we've done this is, customers that already purchased the instrument last year or this year before this announcement, they have the option to upgrade, right? So it's an option that they have, and the newest systems that will be shipping from this month, they will also have the option to upgrade or just buy the complete system that contains this new acquisition mode that we unlocked on the system.
Right. So there's basically two options then.
Correct.
With it or without it. Fantastic.
Correct.
Right. Well, that's brilliant. It's been lovely to see. So one question is, obviously, if people are here at ASMS, they can come and see the instruments and find out more by coming to the hospitality suite in your booth. If they're not here, how will someone get more information? Yes,
so they can reach out either to their local sales representative, or they can go online where we have a lot of information about the products, the different application areas that we're focusing on, and a lot of scientific collateral that they can download.
Fantastic. Well, Jose, genuinely, it's been lovely to see you again, my friend. I hope
likewise.
You have a fantastic ASMS this week in Minneapolis. I did remember where we are. That's good to know. And there you go, viewers. If you'd like to know more about the Zeno SWATH, I should say, DIA, and the Zeno 7600, then you can come to the SCIEX booth or the hospitality suite and find out more. If you cannot make it, you can check out the website, get in touch with your local SCIEX rep and find out more there. So all that's to say is thank you very much once again, Jose, and thank you viewers for watching. Until next time, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.